Hi there, this is Pastor Omar here at EFC. And today I have the honor and the privilege to share with you our second quarterly missions report of the year. As I mentioned in the first report a few months back, this is something brand new that we're doing at church. We're providing a quarterly missions report of all of our missions partners. It is a way for you to stay in connection of what's happening, what's going on internationally, nationally, and locally with our mission partners. It's also as a way for you to know how to pray for our partners, and how to become more involved if you so desire. So that's a way for us to do that. So we're going to do that second quarterly report today. And before I do that, I also just want to say thank you for everyone who watched the first report and reached out to me and just told me how much you appreciated hearing all the information. So I'm just so glad that these reports are helpful to you as a congregation, as people knowing what's going on with our mission partners. So let's jump in with our second quarterly report. And I want to start with our international partners, mission partners. And the first one is Bold Hope. As many of you know, we took a trip from the church from E-Free to the Dominican Republic back in June through Bold Hope. There's a video that has been created about our experience. So instead of sharing all the details here of what happened, I encourage you to check out that video. I'm gonna put a description here where you can go and find the video. It's a recap of what happened. It shows you pictures and videos and a recap of how God was just so amazing working through the team that went, and just the amazing things that he did down there. It's incredible. So I encourage you to check that video out. And the videos are in our YouTube channel under the Serving and Reaching playlist. That's where you're going to find that, as well as this video. But even then, there's some awesome more information from Bold Hope. And during the second quarter, they had mission trips, go to Dominican Republic like we did, but also to Mexico, and also to the country of Belize. And one of the coolest things this quarter is that in Belize, they were finally able to kick off their child sponsorship efforts. One of the things that Bold Hope does as they go through different countries is they like to establish child sponsorship efforts. It's a way to help many of the kids in those countries to move out of poverty. And so that is something exciting that happened. There's a lot of projects in UBS that were done. Projects started in many of those countries as well. And for prayer requests, Bold Hope asks, it says, please continue to pray for our remaining mission trips of the year, and pray for the participants who are preparing to serve this summer. It says, pray for the communities they will be serving with, and for God to be glorified in every relationship built and every project or program that's completed. Please pray for our missionaries and partners around the world. So that is for Bold Hope. Again, check out our video from the team this past month there as well. Moving on, Dan and Emily O'Call, also international partners. They serve in Kenya. Many of you know that as well. And one of the things that they did as well, they were able to send a video, a report of what they've been doing this from the start of the year. We show that to our congregation as well. So if you haven't gotten a chance to look at that, I'm also going to put here below where you find it. You find it in the same place as I mentioned, YouTube channel, Serving and Reaching playlist to find that out. But here is some of the update from Dan and Emily in Kenya and Dala Development, the ministry that they have. They said that they interviewed and hired, an excellent new program manager for the clinic in Kisumu, which is a praise. Happened the second quarter. It says the work at the clinic has resumed for the most part as that pandemic seems to subside a little bit, but they're still going on, especially with the new variants happening there. Another thing is their homeschooling has resumed. It says planning to provide additional desks for the village at school. And so prayer requests are asking Emily is going to Israel with us, with E-Free Church, who is partnering with Bible Telling Seminar in March of 2022, I would say. So be praying for those funds to come in. Another thing that happens with Dan and Emily, and I just want to say this again in this report, if you're interested, the first Wednesday of every month, there's a Zoom call that is open to anyone at church, anyone in a congregation who's interested in hearing month to month what is going on with them. You can email me to ask for the link, for the Zoom link. And so again, the first Wednesday of the month, it is at 1 p.m. That's the time where they are able to Zoom in with us for anyone interested to talk with Dan and Emily O'Call. Another thing that I want to mention as well from my previous conversation with Dan and Emily is that they're also asking for prayers for the government to be able to extend some leniency and grace to Dalit development, their organizations. The government in Kenya is corrupt, as we've been told about that. And so I think there is an extra charge, I think $1,200 that they're trying to avoid. So just be praying that there will be grace and that development will not be charged with that extra tax that the government is trying to impose on them. So that's another prayer request to have with Dan and Emily. But moving on, let's move on to, before I move on, sorry, I'm seeing here on my notes as well, a praise from them is that Omar Lair, his memorial donation is something that was given to Dan and Emily O'Call, and says, and because of that donation, it was used as for extra bed and furnishings in the Joanna House, cancer patient house in Nairobi. So a praise for that donation that came in. Now let's move on to Pastor Adam, also a global partner, and he serves in the Middle East. It's a closed country for protection. We're not allowed to say. And here is the report from the second quarter. It says he's working on developing and delivering training for many new team members who will be coming later this summer to that region. And so that's something he's been working on. He's also been developing pastor training materials in an online format for new pastors in several of the countries where travel is restricted. So that's some of the work that Pastor Adam and his team has been doing. They're also considering a new community center in an unreached neighborhood that will provide ESL training, English as a second language, as part of a church planting strategy. So that's some of the cool things that Pastor Adam is doing there. And on a personal level, they're back in the Middle East. They were here in the States for a little while with their family due to that pandemic and COVID and everything that was happening. But prayer, they're asking for wisdom and effectiveness in working with lawyers and church leaders. It says to design and open a new community center in this unreached neighborhood where they can provide ESL training. For crisis relief work needed in a particular country in that region. It says for the many new staff members joining the team in their orientation and training that's happening this summer. So lots to be praying for Pastor Adam and his team in the Middle East. Moving on, Paul and Nancy Erker. Paul and Nancy Erker are also missionaries with us, and now they're at a national level. They're with Wycliffe Bible Translators. They're in North Carolina. In the second quarter, we heard that Paul has recently moved back into his office, which is good. And he's been working on revising a script for the Bible Story Producer app that he's been working on. And unfortunately, that has seen some delays, so there's a prayer there, but that's what he's been working. And so he would appreciate prayers that they would be able to make better progress with that app that he's been working with Wycliffe Bible Translators. In addition to that, they've heard that many colleagues have been struggling with anxiety and depression, and the counseling office is opening soon. And that's where Nancy, as a counselor, is able to work and pour into many missionaries as well there. And so just pray for that to be, for the opening to happen well, to go well, and as Nancy gets to go back to do that as well. Moving on, let's move on to Jenny Lang, another national mission partner from church. Jenny Lang has served with Campus Crusade for many years down in the South. And we have a couple of updates here. She's still working with Crew, but she's transitioning now to the family life ministry of Campus Crusade Life. That is what Jenny is doing. And so what she's doing is her focus now is mobilizing families for the Great Commission instead of college kids. Jenny mentioned that this is a great fit right now for her life stage with her husband and her kids. So she's really excited about that. She says she now serves as a training and development coordinator for Family Life Ministries. It says, which means I help oversee, this is a quote from her, the training and development of both our staff and volunteers as we seek to mobilize people towards an impact for Jesus in their various places of influence. So that's what's been happening with Jenny, which is really exciting in their ministry. So just be praying for that transition to go well for her husband and for the kids as they continue to do ministry with Campus Crusade and provide materials for family ministry, which is really, really exciting. Moving on now, we're going to Catalyst Ministries, which is a local partner that we have here, but they also serve internationally. And from their second quarterly report, one of the things they like to mention is that Catalyst Ministries interacts with numerous survivors each month. Survivors from different places, and says screening survivors to better understand their needs and share available resources. Up to date, they have seen about 77 survival referrals. So that's what they received. And this past quarter, there was 37 of those 77 happened last quarter. That's something that happened there. And they said throughout the past quarter as well, they have been working to expand services to support community members who have been trafficked or sexually exploited. And starting later this summer, one of the things that they're doing is they will be piloting a faith-based support group who will meet weekly for 13 weeks. So that's something to be praying for. And there's a lot of, it says at this time we have a few remaining spots available. So that's something important that's happening later this summer, to be praying for. And another thing that happened with Catalyst Ministries is, as many of you know, we had our Go Serve Week during our second quarter of the year, where we just invited the congregation and small groups specifically to go out and serve into our community wherever they wanted. And we asked them if they could serve with our mission partners. And here is what Catalyst Ministries said about the support of E-Free during the second quarter. They say this, it says, the Go Serve Week was a tremendous blessing. E-Free helped bring so much beauty to our property and residents. They planted new trees and flowers and they did interior projects that were completed as well. One group says here even helped protect the garden from woodchucks by building a fortified fence around the garden and protecting work efforts and produce used at Catalyst Farms. It says, what a joy to see this space treasured by the women we serve. So incredible work that as a community, as a congregation, we were able to do. It also says here that beyond the Go Serve Week, E-Free is very much involved. It says E-Free volunteers faithfully on work days, and we were thrilled to complete our craft room this past quarter, and much of this was due to E-Free efforts. So very thankful for your support as a congregation to help Catalyst Ministries. Moving on to our downtown ministry, Safe Harbor. During the COVID pandemic, we're so thankful. We're still serving the last Wednesday of the month. We're still serving a meal to Safe Harbor. And those spots that we have as a church have been covered. So thank you for that. The monthly distribution as well continues to go during the pandemic. There's some restrictions now with that, but there's something that we're continuing to do. So all of that is moving along right well from this past quarter. And lastly, for this quarter report, I'll do Home Sweet Homes. Home Sweet Home had something happen in the second quarter as well. It says here, through your continued support and prayers, the co-op program now has a new place to call home. It says in May, the staff and volunteers and community members celebrated the co-op's grand reopening. And for those of you who don't know, the co-op program is called Bread for Life Food Co-op Program, and it helps hundreds of individuals provide food for themselves and their families. It says here, from the single mom struggling to feed her children to the veteran with limited income. And so this is something that we've helped as a church, and many churches as well with Home Sweet Home. So that's something really exciting that happened this past quarter with Home Sweet Homes. In addition to that, with Sheridan Elementary, we also this past quarter helped in their poetry garden to clean out that place, and also were very thankful to us. And they sent an email saying how thankful and blown away they were by E-Free's work to help them as we support Sheridan Elementary here as a local partner that we've embraced. So this is the second quarter report of the year. Next time we'll provide more information as well for the third quarterly report of the year. I'm just very blessed and thankful for our mission partners that we have so far and for all the work that they're doing. I encourage you to keep praying for them, keep them in your prayers, and keep thinking about ways that you can get involved in helping support in any way possible. If you have any questions, you can always email me at omara@efreebn.org to ask more information about our mission partners and what's going on around the world. But lastly, just thank you so much as a congregation for your support and your prayers with our mission partners. This is something that is meaningful to us here at church, and we are so passionate about being able to be the hands and feet of Jesus Christ internationally, nationally, and locally as well. So next time, I'll see you next time with the third quarterly missions report of the year. Thank you.